Hello, I'm Joe Welinske, Program Manager for what will be our second annual Technical Communication Conference in the Pacific Northwest, taking place in Tacoma, Washington in September on the 7th and 8th. And I get a chance to speak with presenters who will be at the conference. And today I'm talking with two people who will be joining us. First of all, like to say hello to Jess Daugherty. Hello, Jess.
Hi, Joe.
And where are you speaking to us from today, Jess?
Denver, Colorado.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm in my Seattle office, and then the other person that we have with us is Adam Evans. Hello, Adam.
Hi, Joe. How's it going?
Everything's great. Where are you calling from?
I am from downtown Chicago on a hot, humid day.
All right, so we've got three different areas, but the two of you will be presenting a session together at the conference. But first of all, let's just find a little bit more about you. Maybe we'll start with you, Jess. Talk a little bit about your background and how you ended up where you're at today.
Sure. Yeah. So I actually went to school. My undergraduate was in technical communication. So I started out from college like learning about TechCom and about all those things that come with it, like usability testing and some elements of graphic design and instructional design as well. But after college, I actually got a temp position at an insurance company. They had me doing a redesign of their internal website. So I got to really kind of flex those web design skills that I learned in school, ended up putting together that project for them. And then I found out kind of through a series of networking and people at the company that they were hiring a technical writing position shortly after my temp position was up. So it was very timing wise, it worked out really well. So I got into that position, had about 3.5 years of technical writing experience. I did mainly internal documentation at the insurance company. I supported a lot of the development side of the house, just doing tons of different types of TechCom projects. I worked on online help, I did video, I did some instructional design, putting together some learning curriculum. So I got a really good opportunity to flex all of the skills that I had learned in my undergrad. And then after that, I found a job in Chicago actually with Adam. We had gone to undergrad together, and I saw on social media that he got this cool new job in Chicago. And I at the time was also sort of looking to move on, try something new. And this company was hiring a technical writer. So I got in, and I've been at kCura for about 5 years since, and I've sort of grown my way through as a technical writer, and now currently the documentation team lead.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks for giving us that introduction. And why don't we just switch over to Adam? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my background is similar to Jess's. She mentioned that we went to undergrad together, so we have the same degree. I've always worked for software companies and done software documentation. I've been at kCura, though, for the last 5.5 years, and we do sort of what I call the standard software documentation. We produce online help and work with developers and PMs to get all of that information. The team has grown a ton over the last couple of years. Jess and I think we're writers number 4 and 5, and now we have a team of 11, and we're hiring our 12th writer. So we've really sort of doubled, and with that growth has come a lot of, growing pains, and we've had to sort of standardize some of our processes and figure things out. But then also along with that has become part of what we're going to be talking about, the career map and building out a career progression for the tech writers.
Oh, well, I think that's really interesting. Why don't you maybe just talk a little bit more about it, not necessarily things that you're going to talk about in the session, but just this kind of evolution that you've been a part of at your organization to build out a career path for documentation professionals.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really interesting, and we've done a lot of sort of trial and error with it. I think one of the main things that we saw or one of the reasons we knew we needed to build out this career path was because we had writers from all different experience levels. We had people that were right out of college, and then we'd had, seasoned professionals who had been here, or not been at the company, but have worked for 20 or 30 years. Yet we were all called technical writers, and there was really no differentiation. So once Jess and I moved into the management positions, we really worked on, and with HR, sort of building out this career path. And I know Jess has had her own experiences with it. Now she manages some more of the junior writers, so she gets a little bit of a different perspective than I do.
Well, yeah, it's definitely, I think, a really progressive attitude to that you're developing that at your organization. And unfortunately, I don't think it's common enough in our technical communication community. But Jess, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your perspectives related to building out this career path.
Yeah, so I know it's something that I personally had never had an opportunity to explore in my own career. I never had, any sort of career path as a technical writer. So coming in at this level as a manager capacity and working with Adam was a really unique opportunity, because I felt like, even though we both sort of had that same background, I felt like I could bring in some perspective from recently being a team member versus being in a management position. So I myself have been in a management position for a little over a year now. I'm still learning a lot of stuff, but just from that standpoint, I felt like I was able to draw on a lot of experiences that I most recently had, and in some ways probably have been a little bit closer to the professionals themselves. So that was really interesting as we were working together to put together those levels that Adam mentioned.
And I'll say too, I think before we did this, one of the attitudes on the team was like, oh yeah, if you want to progress in your career, you have to work at a large enterprise company like a Google or an Amazon or something like that. And I just didn't like that attitude. And I thought, even though we're a smaller startup company, we have a big team, and we have sort of a growing tech com practice. And I think this is the value. It's a value that we can offer, incoming writers. And if we want to attract good talent, we have to make sure that we're offering that value.
Well, since you do seem to have developed, a somewhat formal process for developing your staff members, what are some of the emerging skill areas that you find that you want to be able to nurture and build in your existing staff and new people? Are there any particular things that you're looking at as you move forward that you think are really important in delivering the type of communication that your organization needs?
Yeah, I would say, we're in the midst of hiring a new person right now, as Adam said, and I'd say, at a basic level, we're always looking for people who are innovators. So even if that person that we're interviewing is coming in sort of at that entry level, level 1 position, we're particularly interested in learning how they've been able to innovate in their own career, even if it hasn't been for very long. So something like creativity is something that we really look for and we want to hone on the team. Obviously, like being a good communicator, I think like 90% of the job is like communicating and getting information from other people. So being able to build those relationships with those development teams that the writers need. So a lot of it really is kind of, in my perspective, is soft skills, in addition to those technical skills as well. We're always looking for people who have the solid set of technical skills to do the job and do it well. But a lot of it is very much being able to communicate with people so that you can get the information you need.
And beyond that, I would say a technical skill that we, sort of not so much emerging, but that we try to cultivate, and I think it reflects in the levels, is familiarity with API documentation, and even more specifically than that, I think just knowing a coding language. When we're interviewing, if someone has a coding language and a familiarity with that on their resume, that's going to really make them stand out. It doesn't even have to be the languages that we use, just a demonstrated ability to learn and show like some level of competency with it shows us that we have someone who really understands what they're doing, can learn something new, and can implement it. So that's huge for us.
Well, it's good to hear about all the things that you have going on at your organization, and I think this is a good introduction to our prospective attendees and the broader community about the types of things that you have going on at your organization, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Seattle in just a couple of months.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Jess. Adam, bye-bye.
Bye.